Shalom. Kol Aloyim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. What we're going to watch right here is an interview done by a guy by the name of David Grush. And if you don't know him, then he's basically a U.S. Air Force military intelligence officer. He's a veteran, of course, and he's come out as like a whistleblower concerning UFOs and UAPs. So he's sitting up here and he's doing this interview, and we're going to listen to what he says concerning this extraterrestrial life. But as we listen to it, you're going to hear and get the same sentiment that I got, which is that this man is being set up. They set him up to go up here and talk like this and just to push lies and nothing but deceit upon the people. Because more than likely, they're going to try to do something concerning so-called aliens, which are nothing more than the chariots of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. But this guy with his resume, he supposedly has this strong, reputable resume with all these high qualifications, and I'm sure it is in the eyes of the people of this world. So everybody hears this, and they're watching this interview, and they're making videos online, and they're like, oh my gosh, if he's saying it, it has to be true. I knew it. And everybody's talking about their experiences and what they've seen, and they've always knew this, blah, blah, blah. But this guy is set up, in my opinion. Let's check out this video, and we'll listen to what he has to say. It's crazy nonsense, but then, of course, we'll grab some precepts surrounding it.
How many species? Recent reports have said that there are perhaps 4 different alien species, Greys, Nordics. How many species are you aware of?
I certainly don't have the compendium. It's a continuum from corporeal, bipedal type life to, what I would consider like sentient plasmoid life. But there are several that the U.S. government is aware of.
A question for you, Mr. Grush.
Okay.
During the course of your investigation, it's been surfaced to the public that there's been a program by the name of Immaculate Constellation. During the course of your investigation, did you recognize that the infrastructure to support such a program for exfiltration of data from federal systems would exist?
Yeah, I can't comment on the content of that program. I've discussed on my interview in Judicial Watch that was a National Security Council program. And the secrecy started in 1954 through an Eisenhower executive order that created that infrastructure.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Do you have a sense of how many cases the government might be aware of that involve non-human biologics?
Quite a few, several dozen. So that's an ongoing list. So I can't give you an exact number because I didn't even have full access to that information.
Do you have a general rough estimate between
several dozen?
Gotcha. All right,
Yes.
thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Bottom line, we got to go vote. Bottom line, we wouldn't.
What the hell was he talking about? I certainly don't have the compendium, but the I don't even know what he said. You can tell it was scripted too. Early on when I graduated high school and I went to a community college, I wanted to be this actor, so I took acting classes. And man, I'm telling you, ever since I can just see it, I can tell when somebody is acting and when they have a script that they've memorized. That's why at the very end, all he could just say is just several dozen, because that's what he was told to say concerning that type of question. Let's listen to the very beginning again. This loser.
Be here if
How many species? Recent reports have said that there are perhaps 4 different alien species, Greys, Nordics. How many species are you aware of?
I certainly don't have the compendium. It's a continuum from corporeal, bipedal type life to, what I would consider like sentient plasmoid life. But there are several that the U.S.
What the heck? These people just be saying anything. It's just the wiles of the devil. Now everybody's like, oh, they're bipedal, they stand on 2 feet, sentient, they can think. I knew it, there's more life forms. And people are falling for it. Let's grab this precept really quickly. Ephesians 6, and we're going to read this in the AMP. We're going to read verses 10 and 11. In conclusion, be strong in the Lord. Draw your strength from him and be empowered through your union with him and in the power of his boundless might. Verse 11 is the point. Put on the full armor of God, for his precepts are like the splendid armor of a heavily armed soldier, so that you may be able to successfully stand up against all the schemes and the strategies and the deceits of the devil. And that's exactly what we just heard. Nothing but schemes, strategies, and deceits of the devil, which is Esau, Edom, the man running not only Babylon the Great, but the entire world, because the Lord put the world currently into his hands. He's controlling it. And a big way that they do that is by their media, what they tell the people, and that's nothing but witchcraft. It's witchcraft, it's lies, it's a deceit, and like the King James says, it's the wiles of the devil. That's what we just heard. I certainly don't have the full contemporarium, but it's a conundrum of several, like, dog, don't nobody know what you're saying. And just because you use these big, huge words that people don't use on a regular basis, we're supposed to listen to you and look at you like, oh my gosh, he's so smart. Look at his vocabulary. I certainly don't know that word. It's retarded. It's retarded. That's really what it is. And people are falling for it. They're really falling for it. Let me see if I can just get this one precept, and I want to watch one more video. Psalm 68, right? Psalm 68, verse 17 in the King James on the left. The chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them as in Sinai in the holy place. That's all it is. That's all it is. No need to try to think any further. Try to get down to the nitty gritty and watch more videos on YouTube and listen to what people have to say. Look, you have angels out there. Angels that, guess what, look like me and you. So-called black, right? Brown skin. And they're in these chariots that the world likes to call UAPs or UFOs, and they're nothing more than the flying vehicles of the Lord. That's what it is. And Esau doesn't have, he tries to lie and make it seem like, oh yeah, we have several dozen types and we have certain of them in our lab right now. We've been testing them since 1954. It's a goddamn lie. It's a goddamn lie. So don't fall for the okie doke and the deceit of Esau, Edom. And don't be surprised if he takes this and he runs with it, and then sometime in the next few weeks or few months, he tries to make it seem like some crazy stuff, like an alien invasion is happening right now and aliens just attacked the grid and they made a blackout. Like, who knows? You know, he has his certain technology, what is it called? Blue something. Y'all know what I'm talking about, where he can make it seem like he projected something in the sky. Yeah. Don't be surprised if you see all those things happening. The scripture said a time like never was nor shall be. So everything's going to be different. Let's check out one more video really quickly. Is this it? Yeah.
If there is life off of this planet, that is the biggest headline of our lifetime. And that phrase that he just used, plasmoid, whatever, what is he talking about, Lou?
Yeah, he's referring to what some have speculated regarding orbs that have been viewed really since the 1940s during the Foo Fighter incidents, and then later over New Mexico skies, over controlled military airspace. And it seems that, at least in some cases, some of these orbs seem to have some sort of intelligence connected with them. And so rather than just being like, let's say, a probe or a drone, these things have been reported to almost behave and react in some cases as if there was ascribed to it some sort of I hate to say it, but life form. I got you. I was more nuts and bolts guy when I was in the program. My focus was more on actual the physical craft.
And this nigga couldn't even explain it. You know, he couldn't even really explain it. You know, just sentient plasma life. Come on, man. All this terminology when they're just afraid to say, they don't want to say alien because now they want to sound more sophisticated. It's not an alien, it's a sentient plasma life form. I feel stupid saying it. Man. But yeah, people are falling for it. They're falling for it. And oh, this is a good precept. Let me get this one. Let me see. Deceive. It's in Matthew 24. Matthew 24, verse 24. For there shall arise false messiahs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. And that goes not only for these false teachers out here, but all these people, because these Edomites that are higher up, they're claiming to be God. They want to be God. And what they're doing is they're doing their best to deceive the individuals, and they're hoping to deceive you Israelites out there. And majority of people are going to fall for it, believing it in the strength of Pharaoh and in Egypt. Oh, they got to be right. If they said it, looking at them wearing a suit and tie, a nice tux, whatever. Oh, yeah, well, you know, they got a good IQ. No, it doesn't mean anything. You dive into the scriptures and you know exactly what's going on. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to stay in Matthew 24 and I'll end off with this precept. Verses 30 and 31. This is what these sentient life forms are coming to do. The angels of God. And then, verse 30, shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. The clouds right here is a metaphor for those chariots. And he shall send his angels. You see the connection? He's coming with clouds and great glory, or power and great glory. And then once that happens, he's going to send his angels. Why? Because his angels are in those clouds, the chariots, with the sound of a great trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. So, in the midst of World War III, which is Armageddon, which is that second death, Yahweh Shai is going to return with the holy host of the heavens, the chariots, the angels, and in the midst of this place, Babylon the Great, being completely destroyed, he's going to also gather the elect out of the nation of Israel from across the entire world, from everywhere. That's why it says from the four winds, north, south, east, west, left, right, up, down, wherever they're scattered. And that's the purpose of these angels, when they return, that is. You see, Esau doesn't want you to know that. He wants you to think that there's some weird, big, black-eyed, slanted, big forehead, gray-looking alien out there. And, you know, it's bipedal and it has super long fingers. Each one is about 12 inches. It's just weird. He wants you to believe in some kind of fairy tale. But no, the scriptures outline exactly what those so-called UAPs are. They're chariots, and in those chariots are the angels of the Lord that do his will. So just remember that. Always compare things with the scriptures. Don't believe in Esau's lies and his deceit. And pray that the Lord continues to increase your faith, because there's going to be a lot of deception coming very, very soon. But the elect will not be deceived by any of it. So Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect. Kohaloyim, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakudash. Shalom.